Say something, Cody. Say something. Stop sitting there going, Can't catch your tongue? Oh yeah, that felt really good, guys. Good to see you. So for the most part, I've stayed pretty quiet in the whole Cody and Satori thing. And at first I didn't even give a crap. But then I started watching videos from fellow debunkers. And then I was like, girl, call Kelly Clarkson, okay? But this video dropped from Project Fear yesterday. And I was like, dude, I've got to get in on this, okay? And honestly, I didn't even want to jump on that whole Cody and Satori train. But... oh! Choo choo!
Don't ever do that again.
And guys, real quick, I'm not sure which debunker did what first, who said what first. I'm not sure. The whole timeline is very confusing. There have been lots of videos. I just want to react to this video. But I do know Mythos did some great videos on this whole subject. Beardo Gets Scared, The Shape. There was another guy called The Debunker. The one guy that looks like Napoleon Dynamite. I forgot his name. There's been so many videos. And they've all been amazing. I just want to react to this video and give my thoughts. Let's go. And play.
There's like a couple of videos out there, people like filming their feet and like doing something in their shoe and it's making like a tapping noise. Would you guys be willing to do the session with your shoes off and your socks off?
Oh boy, I love this video. This is awesome. Okay, let's go.
Recently, we attended a paranormal convention in New Jersey where Cody and Satori were also present. We took this opportunity to sit them down and ask them hard questions. These were questions both from our own experiences and from internet skeptics. So let's get right into the video. This is our full sit-down conversation with Cody and Satori.
I know this guy's getting a lot of slack for not going harder on these guys and, you know, giving them harder questions. I think they did a good job personally because you have to approach these things with a little bit of tact, right? You can't just go in there and say, it's your feet, you know. You have to kind of, romance them a little bit, you know, like, be real nice. And as the interview goes on, they start to tighten the screws a little bit harder as they go. This is how they do it like this, right?
You come down here? Can you come to this floor?
Yeah.
Not this crap again, FML.
God, it's so obvious just looking at this clip right here. Now that we kind of know what's going on, or we have a hypothesis of what's going on, he's just starting off very quiet and getting louder as he builds it up. And I love the Ouija Brothers video, if you haven't seen it, where his son does the whole toe thing, you know, and the kid even fools his own family into thinking somebody's coming down the stairs and walking around the room. Check this out.
And as we were sitting on this sofa, I started hearing banging coming from upstairs, like kind of upstairs, and then it stopped, and then he was coming down the stairs. And I said to Laura, I was like, can you hear that? And she was like, yeah, what is it? And we told everyone, we was like, oh, stop. And we carried on hearing it. And Riley was like, it's me. I was like, sitting in this chair, and he's doing a noise coming down the stairs. I was like, what? How are you doing that? Hold on. How are you doing it?
You see like the centre of his toes?
Yes, so that's what he's doing. He's flicking his toes inwards on you.
I'll do it with the shoe and without the shoe. Without the shoe. With the shoe. I could do the sound more.
Yeah. We heard the noise. We originally thought we heard the noise coming from down there, but in fact it was coming from that chair. And it just shows you, you know, like how like noise like that can just travel and it can just totally disorientate you.
Cody and Satori, like take us through the day that you realized that you had this capability, this ability, and like how did it happen?
Okay, so a lot of people ask us that question, and to answer it on accident, we didn't know we could do any of this beforehand. I mean, now looking back on it, we're noticing some things in our lives could have led up to this moment. but definitely didn't have the kind of communication we had until we first met, August of 2018.
Even though the dude was doing this, like, what, 11 years ago?
What the hell is this from 11 years ago? Cody?
If we can try getting him. Try to find out his name like we did in the past with the alphabet.
Try to find his name like we did in the past using the alphabet. That sounds very familiar, doesn't it? This is Cody, 11 years ago, and some guy is saying, do that thing you did in the past. How long has he been pulling this shit?
Supposedly, it only happened when they got together. Twin flames, and magic happened.
And to be completely clear and honest, the spirits are just as confused as we are when it comes to communicating. We've tried, when we first started doing this, I believe the first thing we ever spelt out from a spirit was, how is this happening? Or how is this possible? Something like that. And so it's just showing that they were just as confused as us. So it's not like they know what they're doing. It was almost like we all figured it out, you know?
Right, and the alphabet kind of evolved.
It was like a team effort, you know?
Evolved over time. It was, of course, once for yes, twice for no, because most groups, that's what we're always asking for. And then it evolved to, well, you know, if you're out there and you're okay, knock 3 times, and then 3 times, and eventually we got to the alphabet.
And then I tapped my toe 3 times.
I call bullshit.
Thinking of Ouija boards and things like that. And
I have a question about taps, because, like, I don't...
Taps, you know? The irony here, right?
That's ironic as fuck.
The guy worked for Taps, and he also taps his toes. Okay, let's keep going.
I think a lot of people understand taps, like that it's actually bigger than just ghost hunters.
Yeah.
Can you explain, like, your role in taps before she even got involved, and like how long?
Dude, how ironic is that? I never thought about that till just now. He worked for Taps. Wow.
2 weeks ago, Sam and Colby's videos come out. You guys get all this exposure. Hundreds of thousands of people following you now.
Yes.
And obviously with that, you have people that are going to hate, and they're hating, and they're hating. So, like, what does your dad think about, A, this newfound, like, kind of fame, really?
Yeah, the spotlight.
And then B, like, what does he tell you, or what's his advice when you do get these haters or these skeptical people, like, trying to debunk you?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sure they've gotten, you know, when they say haters, you know, are you a hater because you disagree with what they're doing? Are you a hater because you think it's bullshit? I mean, that to me, but I do know they're probably getting a lot of actual hate, which I don't condone. I'm sure they're getting lots of nasty messages, which that is the ugly side of all this. But if you just think it's bullshit, that is not hate. That's just pure skepticism. But I watched that Mythos video, and they were at that dance studio, and Sam and Colby asked them to take their shoes and socks off. Man, you could feel the tension in that room. It was so awkward. And you know, if it's the spirits walking around, who gives a fuck about their feet, right? Why is it so important you can't show your feet?
Dad is very proud of me. I've definitely expressed to him that I'm very stressed out by this sudden change. But he's like, you know, you gotta keep rolling with it. It was supposed to happen. Like, he's very supportive on that end. My family, being in the paranormal field our entire lives, are used to, you're gonna get a lot of love and you're gonna get some hate. So don't pay attention to the hate. So that's what we've done. We don't listen to that, because if it's meant for you, it'll help you. If not, move right along. You know, it's not meant for you. It's not something we
Some
care.
of it's been quite comical, to be honest.
It's been kind of funny.
We've gotten a laugh out of some of it. Just some of the theories that people are coming up with, like we're aliens and...
Yeah, we were joint popping, and I'm like, Cody had cancer. If he popped a joint, it wasn't going back. Like, you know, like things like that.
Being on the outside looking in, though, I must say, when you experience it, whether it's in person or through the TV, like, there are so many questions that do come to mind. So
I mean, is that true? If you have that certain type of cancer, and I feel bad for him. I'm hope everything's okay as far as that's concerned.
Asking questions is like a good thing.
Yeah.
Because like we all have them, right? And if you're watching it through the TV and you don't have the ability to actually ask those questions, like they're just gonna stir in your mind. Like we have the luxury of actually sitting with you.
Honestly, like that's the importance, I think, of this video, is like,
This is awkward, guys. This whole thing is awkward because I feel them on this side of the table. They're trying to like kind of hold back and not bombard them. I believe they think it's bullshit, and they're trying to ease into the hard questions. You can just tell by their mannerisms.
All kind of happened in the last couple weeks. All these people have these theories and stuff, so this is like, it's good just to like let's talk about it.
Yeah.
One question is like the rules, like who makes the rules?
That's a good question. I don't think we know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to know who makes these magical rules.
So the first night that we really figured this out, when we established communication, they just came across with all of this stuff.
Yes. Sternly. Maybe it was somebody from the rule department that had to come and be like, all right, this is what you got to worry about.
Wow.
About the rules too, so it seems like, you know, in Sam and Coley's video when they were going over it, and even to us, you've said that it's kind of about messages, like these spirits are only meant to come give messages and then kind of leave. Why is Abigail different then? She's there and she's facilitating these conversations. She's not necessarily just giving messages, but she's helping facilitate that. Is there a difference between some spirits?
I think because that was her house, and I think depending on the location you go to, like if we went to your house or you know where your grandfather lived, it would be a different story, you know, because that's a location that's connected to them, and they probably visit very frequently.
I just want to ask about like the alphabet method, like first of all, who started it?
Can I take credit for the alphabet thing?
Yeah.
Because I think it was me. I was like, hey, can we spell out things? And that's how we got the how is this happening? How is this possible? And to be quite honest, I totally stole the idea from a Ouija board. I was like, let's be a human Ouija board, you know?
Well, that's fucked up.
And see if we could do it. And
when was that moment?
That was the overnight when we first figured out it was a couple months after we met. And we were at an overnight case, and that's where we had somebody come through and be like, how is this possible? And that's when we had the rule thing happen and all that.
Yeah, I think Satori won that one for sure.
This is a lot, guys. I mean, you have to really, it's one thing to say, hey, when we hold hands, this magical thing happens where the ghosts walk into the room. But now you're talking about these things set rules, and they get, you know, they're very stern about it. This is a lot. This is a whole thing. You're expecting people to believe a lot of crap at once, and you guys at least need to take your shoes and socks off. I mean, wow.
I'm question/conspiracies. So it's been weeks. There's Reddit pages, there's TikTok pages, there's people saying things.
I don't want to look. I haven't been looking.
You guys haven't been looked at what some people are like speculating is going on?
We haven't ourselves looked at really anything unless it was brought to us by somebody we know. So
those hands, can we just watch that again, guys?
I haven't been looking.
You guys haven't been looked at.
I think I would love to get like a body. If we had like a body language expert here, there has to be something to be said of these hands. Watch this. Let's just focus in on these jazz. I call them jazz hands, okay?
What some people are like speculating is going on.
We haven't ourselves looked at really anything unless it was brought to us by somebody we know. So we haven't been looking for anything.
So I guess starting off, what have you guys heard that like you guys want to talk about?
Right.
The biggest thing is I think, misunderstanding between the financial things. That's what, and also some of how our method is similar to that of the Fox sisters during the spiritualist movement.
So tell us about what that is.
So the Fox sisters were sisters during the 19th century, 1800s. They had started the spiritualist movement that then in turn became the spiritualism, religion, the spiritualist religion. It's claimed that they would have tapping noises and knocking noises to direct communication. They would get certain knocks for yes, certain raps for no, and then they became so well known and so famous that they were, ultimately doing, seances, telling people their futures, having meetings with important people to help with like communicating with the other side. But there are differences to our method to that of the Fox sisters.
And I think the big thing that, because the Fox sisters, one of the sisters later in life, like admitted, like it was just our joints popping and our wrists and our ankles. Yeah. So there's people out there who are saying, well, this is either Cody or Satori's, something in their body, their joints are popping. So what do you say to those people? Because that's one of the biggest theories right now.
Yeah, so the unfortunate thing about film is you can't convey direction very well. Like when you're in the room in person, at least when Satori and I do this, you can hear footsteps coming in from different directions. We've had it coming on the walls before, on the floors above us, below us. So that's one thing that's hard to convey on film.
I'd like to reference back to the Ouija Brothers video where Steve's son shows how he can make it sound like it's walking down the stairs from across the room. So you can do that. He tricked his whole family.
Fathomable in our minds that could even be possible for the length of communication that we have and the sound level and everything else. It's just a crazy thought.
When we first started coming out about this, we acknowledged the Fox sisters. We acknowledged that history, that spiritualist religion and the spiritualist movement. If you do your research on their method compared to our method, you will find a lot of differences. There's a lot of conspiracy about, them coming out about it being fake, but also if you do your research, you find that they were offered money to do that and they were financially struggling, and then they recanted the statement. So you wonder, like, was it actually fake? Also, there's different things like you weren't allowed to see under their dresses, supposedly, from some skeptic claims. Like,
this is very eye-opening.
You weren't allowed to see under their dresses, supposedly, from some skeptic claims, like their feet under their dresses. You weren't allowed to, they answered questions about the future, accepted money.
Wow. And that's exactly what you guys are doing with not showing your freaking feet. That's the exact equivalent. You just said it, literally. They wouldn't show it, and you don't either. Supposedly, they are down the road. I seriously doubt that will ever happen. That's just my opinion. It'll never happen. My head is just blown right now. I'm editing the video, and I still cannot get over that she said this, for the fact that she knows that we all want to see them do this whole thing with their shoes and socks off, and they won't do it. And then she has the nerve to bring up this story about these sisters who wouldn't pull their dresses up and show their ankles or show their feet. I mean, that's exactly what you guys are doing, and exactly what you guys are going through right now with all this commotion. Mind blown.
Things like that, if you do your research.
If that's what you're doing, it has to be your wrist, or it has to be like your knee or your foot.
Yeah.
That's the only possible thing. So how do we go about disproving that one day to people? Like, what's the step? Because
how do we go, let's cross it off the list, show everybody it's not them,
just take your freaking socks off,
doing something.
This is where it gets awkward. When you start getting close to what the source is, man, it starts getting more freaking awkward. I mean, seriously, if it has nothing to do with your feet, what is the big freaking deal?
Also, I feel like we did really prove it in any way we could that was within our comfort zone on Sam and Colby. We're not obviously popping our joints or anything. You can see, my arms in the videos, and Cody, again.
Can't see your feet.
Because we need to see the behind the scenes footage where they tested Cody and Satori without their shoes on. Now, if you haven't seen my video, check it out and share it, but we got a slight glimpse of them doing it with their shoes off, and we didn't get to see the footage, did we? We need that footage. Sam and Colby, come on guys, we're not letting this drop. Now, I'm not surprised we haven't seen the clip though, because it's going to show them faking, isn't it? Actually, I bet no knocking was happening when they had their socks out, because That's probably why Sam and Colby left it out. And if nothing happens when they're just in socks, says it all, doesn't it?
And I like to make this joke, if Cody popped a joint, it wouldn't be going back in because he has really bad bones and joints from cancer.
As the people online are showing, it's just the toes just like flexing, you know, on the bottom of the foot. So, I mean, for people online that are doing it, they're just flexing their toes, you know? They're not like dislocating their toes to do this.
See, like the centre of his toes?
Yes, so that's what he's doing. He's flicking his toes inwards on you.
I'll do it. Believe it or don't, we're still going to be waking up tomorrow and doing the same thing. So, you know, it's just like...
We're still going to wake up tomorrow and still not take our shoes off.
One of those things.
Right.
There's some people, and this is just a question, they don't even have a theory to it, but the question is like, why does it seem like you're always asking the questions and reciting the alphabet and then you aren't? Like, is there a reason for that?
No, it's just because I do most of the talking, like to be completely
I'm
honest.
more the quiet one anyway. I mean, I've always been more the quiet. I think I sound very boring.
If people want to see Cody doing the talking and reciting, he can do it. Like we'll make sure to do it the next time we ever do, if we do it again for big YouTube or something like that.
I think it's important because like when I saw that question, the only reason I'm bringing it up because then I started to think about our footage. I'm like, oh yeah, like you really were talking most of the time.
I go so fast too. That's also something else a lot of people say, like you go through the alphabet and talk so fast. I'm like, because I want to get as much as I can out in such a short amount of time.
Okay, so what you guys do is obviously like altruistic. It's good.
Yes.
You believe it's fully like created for good.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And there's also like this element that you guys were talking about, or at least you were talking about, Satori, that like you don't want people to like have the ability to disprove every single thing. Don't you think though, like if people could just disprove everything, like all that whole list, if we had a list of things and you could just check them all off and people were like, yes.
I don't think people would. I mean, there's some individuals out there that no matter what you show them, they're still not going to.
I could have a spirit sit
We
right
could do
here
this
next
for
to
days.
me, and
We have. We've done it. We've been there and done it. And you know, we've definitely learned that there's some people that you just can't change their mind.
And there are some people, and the reason we say what we say is because there are some people that we have done this for and we've gone out of our way to try to prove ourselves to in a private setting, and it's done more harm than good for them. Like,
just take the fucking shoes off! Just take your shoes and socks off and get it over with. Holy fuck.
Mentally, you know, like they weren't ready for it. Religiously, they weren't ready for it. Like, you know, like they literally had a negative effect from what we did.
Whatever.
Sam and Colby had a lot of unique stuff come through, and then we did too. Like we had stuff that blew our minds that came through.
Yeah.
But then they haven't done it for us yet. But they did. Someone did put together like a video where they like found the information that you guys are saying. Like they found his grandma, they found the obituaries and all this stuff. And then when we, after our even experience, and we saw that, I actually
just, in my opinion, if you work at the Conjuring House, and you know, part of the deal is when you go to the Conjuring House, you have to sign in. You have to put in your name on the sign-in book or the ledger, whatever it is. And if you work there, you probably have access to all these people's names. So just something to think about. I think Mythos, maybe Beardo, somebody put that in their video. And I'll try to find that clip and put it here.
First off, we get Larry spelled out, and the guys are laughing because they realised that Larry was getting spelt out.
L-A-R-R-A-B-C.
They make Satori laugh because obviously she knows it's Larry getting spelt out as well.
G-H-R-J-K-L.
I don't know why this annoyed me so much. It's just like, come on guys, quit the act. You don't need to carry on going through the alphabet. Just frickin' say Larry and let Cody knock to confirm it. Now, a few people have pointed this out about Larry saying,
that is crazy. How do you know my name? Oh, I signed it.
Referring to the waiver. What I didn't notice before is Sam's reaction. Look at his face. I'll be honest, to me, that looks like he's saying, shit, Larry, shut up and just go along with it. You've just given away their game.
Could find some of the stuff, like the cigar stuff, and then everything to do with our grandpa I could find, whether it was on the internet or like my mom's Facebook page. Yeah. So what do you say to the people that think that you're researching this, memorizing it, and then making it happen?
So there's a couple points on that. For one, I wonder if, and this is just come to my head, they're obviously doing the research after watching the video. So they already have, I believe Sam's grandmother's the nickname. It was a nickname we came up with, I believe. So did they search that nickname and then Sam's, would you have found that if you just searched?
A nickname we came up with? I thought it was the ghost that came up with that.
Searched up Sam's grandmother, say full name, then grandmother.
Without having the name of the...
Without having that nickname already from the video. I wonder if you would have found it as easily. But then it's totally okay to believe that we're, if you want to believe we're researching things. I also wonder how would we remember that, do it without anybody ever seeing it, and then accurately
one of you would have to have a, what's it called?
Photographic memory.
A photographic
That's
memory.
literally the only way.
I can barely spell my own name. So we can disprove me, right?
Come the fuck on, dude. Sorry, but to say you have to have a photographic memory to memorize, let's say 5 names or 7 names, that is not that hard, people. As a musician, when I'm learning a song, or you get to memorize sheet music, or you get to know parts, you have to remember a lot of information for a song.
We got really big out of our comfort zone to do this experimentation thing with Sam and Colby that we did. And we did what we were comfortable with and what the spirits were comfortable with, because there are some things that we can and we can't do. But the big thing is that I like to look at it like this, for one. If we were to give no way for people to have any sort of skepticism, and they're not meant to believe in this yet, or they're not meant to have these experiences, or they won't take it well, what would happen tomorrow if we proved it for certain? Would that create chaos? That's something I'm afraid of, for one.
The world will end next week. Spend your children's college fund so that...
Oh my God, no. That's just an excuse. Just do it. It wouldn't cause chaos. It'd be like, wow, this is amazing. So don't sit there and act like, oh, it's impossible to remember 7 names or whatever it was that night.
So there's a video going around from 11 years ago. It's on TikTok.
Oh, I'm so glad they brought this up. I know my dude Beardo put it in the video. I know for sure he did. Like I said, if I'm forgetting who said what first, I'm sorry, guys. But I just know I saw on Beardo's video, he brought up the 11-year-old clip of him doing this toe tapping thing, or this sound, 11 years ago before he met Satori. So check this out.
And it's a video of you, Cody, doing an investigation. Must have been for one of the random teams you worked for. And
first team.
Oh, Attleboro, right?
Yep.
I think, the start of the video, there's a guy in there, and he says something like, Cody, do the ABC thing you were doing.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Ooh, man. He said it too. Do the ABC thing you're doing. So not only was there freaking sounds, not only was there sounds coming from around the room, tapping sounds, there was even an alphabet for it back then as well. I thought the whole alphabet thing was invented with Satori in the picture. Wow, that's very eye-opening, guys.
Yeah.
And then you start counting the ABCs, and you guys eventually end up spelling the name Bill, and then it says yes, it's Bill.
Not his name like we did in the past with the alphabet.
All right.
Oh, fuck me, dude. I do not remember this. So you're telling me, wow, let's just play this clip, sorry.
So I'm going to ask you, try figuring out your name here. I'm going to go through the alphabet, and when I get to the first letter of your name, I want you to give me a knock.
Holy hell. Holy hell. This is all the freaking proof you need, guys. I mean, I remember seeing this on Beardo's video, but I guess now that all this stuff has happened, looking back at this, I mean, dude, that is damning. She just said she came up with the alphabet thing. And here Cody is, 11 years prior, doing the exact same method. Somebody's lying.
A. B.
First letter is B.
I.
So is it one for yes, two for no? Is it B-I? Is it Bill? Is your name Bill?
This is making me hungry.
That was a 4. That wasn't the 4.
So his name is Bill.
So there's people.
Just admit it. That right there is so damning. That's all the proof I need right there. You guys wanted to act like this was a new thing that you discovered when you met as twin flames. You met and you accidentally discovered this ability. You said it. And you just said that I was the one that created the whole alphabet thing. It's a lie. He is the one who created the whole alphabet thing 11 years prior. What more proof do you need, people?
People out there, like the big theory, other than the sisters, is like Cody's been doing this well before he met Satori.
Mastermind.
Yeah. I mean,
that laugh right there.
Is it like the clicking or the like how
Like the knocks.
Same. Okay, similar.
It's definitely not as intense as what we experienced.
Yeah.
But it is weird for people. But before I even say my opinion, like what do you guys have to say to that?
So it's weird. So when things are happening like that, I mean, back then that was my first group, and when stuff happens like that, you don't think that you're part of that. It's just an experience that's happening, right? And there's been times where we've had some interactions with banging sounds and things like that, and whether I'm a part of that happening, with energy-wise.
Because that is one of those theories where you're like, okay, like he is doing the ABCs, he is getting knocked, so it's definitely.
And the guy says to him, let's do that thing, how do you say it? Let's do that thing that you used to do, or that you normally do. So it wasn't his first time. The guy said it.
That was the one that's like, okay, I mean, I see why people are being somewhat skeptical.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you also wonder, like, was it the start of something that's now here? Because, I mean, when I was younger, I used to see things all the time. And even still now, sometimes when we do this, I'll sometimes see things.
And maybe that was just an unknown start to what's become.
I think the thing that's throwing people up is the ABC thing, because they're like, what? I thought he said he never did that, and like whatever. But I don't know. Yeah. On top of that video of the old video of knocking, there's like a couple of videos out there, people like filming their feet and like doing something in their shoe, and it's making like a tapping noise.
Sorry.
So if you listen carefully.
See, I like the ones that use I like the ones where they use the shoes, because that's that Cody sound. That's that Cody and Satori signature sound. When people are using those types of shoes, it sounds exactly like what he's doing.
You can control the loudness.
And like it kind of, it's the same people who think the Fox sisters.
Oh, joint popping stuff?
So there's one video of a guy like doing something, I don't know what he's doing inside his shoe with his toes, but it is like popping. It's making a weird noise.
Mm-hmm.
So like, would you guys be willing to do the session with your shoes off and your socks off, just to show people, like, look at our feet. We are.
Well, hold on, guys. Let's consult the spirits, shall we?
Not popping our joints.
So the first thing sort of plays into the whole I don't want to force everybody to believe, because I wonder what that would happen to society if we did that. But also another part is, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, I don't want my foot fetished on the internet. So I don't know if I want to do that. So I'm just completely real with you guys.
Fine, Satori, don't show your foot. Let's see Cody's. Is he concerned with the same whole foot kink, fine, Satori, fine. We don't want to see your feet. Let's see Cody's, because that's who's doing it anyway. Does he have some kind of weird thing with people seeing his feet? I don't want to see your feet. I don't even care about seeing your feet. I don't think it's you doing it. And again, why is this so awkward? that tells you everything you need to fucking know.
I don't know, maybe there have been some people in privacy and they can speak to it if they want to, if they want to come forward and talk about it, that have seen it without shoes on. But it was a very closed, very, quiet, setting where we had privacy, things like that.
Yeah.
So, but that's their thing to tell. But I don't know if I'd want to do it for everybody because then they're going to jump to the next thing that we're faking it somehow with.
Or like, what about not today since we are running out of time, but like, would you at some point in the future, if we ever did another video, would you be willing to do it with us or even off camera or just to show one of us, not even all of us?
Maybe off camera.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'd have to see if the spirit.
See, this is when they start cranking into them. I love the way they did this. They leave the hardest questions towards the end. And I love how she's just like, maybe. So she's not committing at all to this, at this point in the video anyway. And personally, I don't think they'll ever do it. That's just my opinion.
Would want to do it.
I think that
you probably didn't hear because of my poor editing that she said if the spirits will let us, okay? Now my thing is this, if it's not their feet, right? Why do you have to consult the spirits about removing your shoes and socks? What does that have to do with anything if it's not your feet? That proves this, right? That proves it's fake. I'm sorry.
that'd be a great way, even if it's just to like us and some people so that we can come out even stronger. Like, guys, we saw it with their feet.
I know saw their feet.
You're never going to please them. No matter.
Oh, godly, man. This is, oh, fuck, man. I'm trying to be respectful. This is aggravating as hell. This is aggravating as fucking hell right now because her reactions are killing me, guys. It's insulting as well. I mean, let me just go back just a second.
No, so that we can come out even stronger. Like, guys,
So they're wanting to protect you guys. Just show them in a private setting and they can go, hey, guys, look, we saw it with our own eyes. And then she goes right to deflecting every time.
with their feet.
We saw their feet.
You're never going to please them, no matter what, whether you say you did or not.
I'm not an expert or anything. I just play one on YouTube. But right now, she's definitely getting aggravated and defensive when you start talking about the feet.
But would you even like take that step, even as gross as you don't want your feet out there, like just to prove to these people? Because it is like, to me, the easiest way to disprove the joint thing is like, let's just film.
Nobody cares about her feet, though. Nobody cares about seeing her feet. It's Cody. Have you guys heard anybody talking about her feet? I haven't.
Their feet and show you it's not their joints.
Yeah, maybe someday off camera we'd show you. Just because, again, I just am super weird about the feet. But yeah, maybe someday off camera.
Okay.
Just
for me, this guy isn't saying shit at a lot of times, and that silence speaks volumes to me. Why didn't he speak up just then? He goes, she does all the fucking talking, doesn't she? He's just staying quiet and nodding. Before he had so much to fucking say, right? Oh boy, I'm sorry, but this is aggravating as hell watching this. Let's go back and see that one more time.
Easiest way to disprove the joint thing is like, let's just film their feet and show you it's not their joints.
Yeah, maybe someday off camera we'd show you. Just because, again, I just am super weird about the feet. But yeah, maybe someday off camera.
Okay.
Just so that people like us can come forward and say, guys, we've seen it with their shoes off, with their socks off. It's not their joints.
That puckered lip, that nodding thing, I've been there before, like when I'm trying to bullshit my way through something, it's like, yeah, sure,
Great, I think, to eventually put it to the test, because we're not here to obviously prove or disprove. It's not our job, and it's not your job either. But
yes, it is your job.
Could do that would be like
silence all the haters.
Silence at least the big theories.
And also, like, when we're dealing with something that's actually potentially like changing people's viewpoints on like what they've always believed in, like faith. I feel like they deserve to at least like have that one thing, like if you're gonna change your whole freaking faith on it.
What's that saying? With great claims require great evidence or something like that? I know I really fucked that up. I'll put it on the screen.
Wow, that sucked ass.
Like just that one simple thing, it would be like after that you guys would literally have crossed like all the things that you guys could have possibly done. Like you guys.
It's up to the spirits, truthfully. And I know that sounds super corny.
Oh my fucking God, dude. Is this real, guys? Is this real? This cannot be real.
Even I know this is fucking bullshit.
So, just when you thought it got absurd.
Yeah.
It's up to the spirits, truthfully. And I know that sounds super corny and you have to be in the room to really believe it, but it really is up to them. So it's more, you know, maybe sometime in the future. I think.
There, do you see it again? You see Cody's? Oh my God! I gotta see that one more time.
Maybe sometime in the future. I think, or you know, maybe sometime in the future. I think maybe off camera.
Yeah.
Say something, Cody. Say something. Stop sitting there going, Can't catch your tongue? God damn. God damn is what I say to this. Oh boy. Oh man.
I think it would help, at least for us and others out there, like, might as well try it just to show us. And,
yeah.
But we do have questions, and reading the internet, it's like, okay, there's skeptical people out there, and.
But it's a big deal. Like, it's people's like thoughts on the afterlife.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is huge. Like, you are the only people that I know that have that type of ability.
But the spirits won't let us take our shoes off, guys. Duh. Hello. It's, you know, freaking haters.
So it's like, it is such a big deal, like, to everyone's personal life too. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I'm like, holy cow, it like shifts people's way of thinking.
No matter what, just we're not going out of our way to prove ourselves to anybody. Believe in whatever you want, whether it's in support of us or not, and we'll still be doing it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, maybe one.
God, so fucking pompous these people are, you know? And him too. They're just so pompous. You know, we're not going to prove it. We're not going to show how, we're not going to prove it. We're not going to do anything to prove it to you guys, and we're just going to keep on doing it. Hello?
They will do the barefoot thing on or off camera, doesn't matter.
He's really trying to push it on camera.
Wow, this is so awkward.
I think that's got people the most.
I give them, dude, you know what? I give these guys credit. I'm sorry. At least they're putting them to the test, and they're pushing the issue. They've been pushing the issue for the last few minutes in different ways. They keep on saying it and saying it and saying it. And it's making them more comfortable, and I fucking love it.
It's like, well, why can't we see it there? Because like, if it's joint popping, the only thing that does make sense is a foot, because it's like all your weight's on that foot. It's probably the easiest thing to pop without making much movement. So I think it would be the best test. Like,
oh yeah,
big time.
I think we should do that at some point. So there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video or found it enlightening. Whether you believe them or not, we did find it important to sit down face to face with them and ask these hard questions. I did speak with Satori very recently, and she wanted me to give you all a little update. She has let me know that at some point in the near future, they will be performing the method without socks or shoes. I don't know what venue this will be showcased on, but they have agreed to do it. They've officially agreed to do it.
Now I wonder if this is going to be in their controlled environment, at a location of their choosing. Because at this point, if they go to a location of their choosing, they could do it at a place where they install some kind of like thumping devices under the floor. They can figure out a way to rig it up. If it's a location that they control, they have all the advantages, right? My opinion, just my opinion, guys, it'll never be shown, and it'll always be rigged. If they do, I'd be very shocked and surprised. It's never going to happen, sorry.
So that will be very intriguing. I know I cannot wait to see that whenever they decide to do it. As far as the future goes, we still have 6 more videos to come out as a part of this haunted house road trip. So keep an eye out for those. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified when our next videos get.
Okay, so takeaway thoughts from this. That interview did not help anything. I think if anything, it just was throwing kerosene on a fucking fire. Was cringe on many levels. And at the end when she says, it's up to the spirits, it reminded me of like, she's in the body language. She throws her hands in the air, right? That to me was very telling, because after all the questions they asked, and they pushed and pushed and pushed her, then she just kind of throws her hands up. It's up to the spirits. Praise the Lord. I've got nothing. Those hands going in the air for me. Again, love to have a body language expert watch that clip. Because to me, when she threw her arms up in the air, that was just like, you know, it was like a Hail Mary. It's up to the spirits. Fuck it. Guys, let me know what you think. Please leave me a comment. This is just my take and my opinion on this. Shout out to all the guys who have done videos on this. Like I said, I know Beardo Gets Scared, Mythos, Shape, the Debunker, the other guy, I forgot his name, sorry. There's been other dudes out there. So please make sure you hit that like button on the way out. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.
Something in the way.